All right, so this week's deck I found while doing research for the previous deck, which was a blue-white Eldrazi deck. And I was looking for a way to incorporate Thought-Knot Seer with counter magic like Stubborn Denial, try to play a Grixis Death Shadow type strategy where I can play a powerful threat and protect it with cheap counter magic. And I came across this list made by Todd Stevens that I just knew I had to play. So what this is a blue-black Eldrazi processor deck. What I mean by processor is this deck has 3 cards who have the subtype Processor: Wasteland Strangler, Ulamog's Nullifier, and Blightherder. And what these 3 cards do is they give you really good benefits if you can take cards from your opponent's exile zone and move it into their graveyard. So the way you really capitalize on cards like this is with other cards that can exile your opponent's graveyard or their cards. And so that's what the rest of this deck is looking to do. So as ways to exile cards, we have 4 Relic of Progenitus, which is a great way to exile a bunch of cards from your opponent's graveyard. You've got Warping Whale, which can exile creatures with power toughness 1 or less, in addition to having other abilities that can definitely be relevant. You have 4 copies of Delay, which is a pretty unusual counterspell you don't see very often. But what this does is for 1 and a blue, you can counterspell and suspend it. And then while it's suspended, you can process it out of exile, effectively making this counterspell. So this is a really cool card in this deck. We've got 2 copies of Ashiok, and Ashiok was one of the main reasons why I knew I had to play this deck, just because I really have good memories playing with her in Standard, and I wanted to try her out. Yeah, her +2 ability is great for exiling a bunch of cards, so she can easily power up a Blightherder or a Nullifier, and her other abilities are totally relevant right now in a metagame that has a lot of linear creature strategies. And finally, it wouldn't be an Eldrazi deck without Thought-Knot Seer. Just powerful card. It does exile, so it also powers up your processors. You pretty much don't play an Eldrazi deck without including 4 copies of Thought-Knot Seer. This main deck is card for card Todd Stevens' list with just a few changes to the mana base. He only ran 2 basics, an Island and a Wastes. And I found when I was doing some playing that I needed more basics to deal with Field of Ruins or Path to Exile. Sometimes I wanted to fetch up a black source with Polluted Delta that wouldn't shock me. So included the Swamp, and I also went up to a 3rd Cavern of Souls. There's a lot of control decks out there, and just having 1 more card that can help blank counter magic I thought was really important for this deck. The sideboard is where I change a few things up from his original deck. It's kind of based on what I think are going to be the decks that I think I'm going to run into here. So popular decks right now are humans. So this deck is really geared to beat humans with 1 Flaying Tendrils, 2 Liliana the Last Hope, 2 Damnation. I've got a Ratchet Bomb, just a lot of ways to deal with cheap creatures. I feel like our matchup is pretty good post-sideboard against any creature deck that's looking to put a bunch of creatures into play. Because we're running 4 Relic of Progenitus in the main deck, we don't have to run really any graveyard hate in the sideboard, which really frees up a bunch of space. I am running 2 Surgical Extraction as additional graveyard hate, but this is more meant to deal with combo decks, where I can extract a specific piece, not just deal with the graveyard in general. Another common deck I'm seeing around is Tron. Tron's really there to prey on all of the control decks that are also very popular, so I am running 3 Ceremonious Rejection to deal with Tron, and I have 2 Spell Pierce to help with the control matchup. And finally, we've got a Bearer of Silence, which is just a very solid creature. It can help us with creature strategies that maybe go a little bit bigger, like Jund, Eldrazi Tron, Boggles. So I like having one copy of Bearer in here. And that's the deck. I've already played this deck a few times, taken it through League, going 4-1, and am 4-0 in the two-man queues with this. So already have a great record with this, and I'm looking to keep up the winning streak with another league. So with that, let's get to the games. All right, we're here for game 1 of our league with blue-black Eldrazi processors. We won the die roll, so we will play first. Okay, so no lands, pretty obviously a mulligan, unfortunately. And this hand looks a lot better. We have all 3 colors of mana. We have black for Fatal Push, we got Relic, we have a couple Warping Whales. So we really need lands and Eldrazi, unfortunately, but this is a keep. Yeah, see, like this is a card I definitely want. And there is some consideration to keeping it because I have Warping Whale that can ramp up to it by making a Scion. I'm actually just gonna bottom this. I think what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna play Watergrave tapped, and so I think next turn I'm gonna play Relic and hold up Push, and yeah, okay, so. Not sure what to make of Fanatical Firebrand. This is screaming Goblins to me. I think I've seen a red-green Goblin deck that runs Collected Company, but I didn't think the deck ran Fanatical Firebrand. Either way, I'm probably going to Warping Whale it, just to be efficient with my mana. But I'll wait one more turn in case I see another card I need to push instead. Legion Loyalist. Okay, so that's a card I think that's better to Warping Whale. Yeah, so I will just exile this creature. Just yield through the turn there. So yeah, definitely a Goblin strategy. Just still not sure what list they're playing. Pretty clearly aggressive if they're going Fanatical Firebrand. But they didn't have a follow-up, so that's good for me. I'll just play Cavern. I will name Eldrazi here. And I will play Relic with the idea that I will likely push and then cycle Relic of Progenitus to try to get into some action here. All right, Bushwhacker kicked. You got it. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I'm going to push first just to put one more creature in his graveyard for cycling to exile with this Relic. So Wasteland Strangler, I think, is probably one of my better draws here. Goblin Grenade. Oh man, wish I had this up to counter a sorcery, but I don't. Well, I guess I'm taking 5. But my opponent, I'm at 11. My opponent has nothing else, no creatures in play, so I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, we'll just crack the Relic. All right, Nullifier is not bad if I can hit a land, and that's like one of the better lands. So we'll just play Eldrazi Temple and pass the turn. I'm really willing to counter just about anything he plays here. Yeah, yeah, I really think I am. Like that actually, it's tough because that's not like that threatening of a card, but I do need to get a creature in play so I can start putting pressure on him. So let's just put a couple of cards back in. I don't think it matters. These decks probably don't have any sort of interaction with their own graveyard. Wow, Flame of Keld. Not a card you see very often. My opponent will get to draw 2 cards next turn. But we do have Push and Whale, so we can deal with creatures and Goblin Grenades pretty well. We can only have one push this turn, though. And we don't have Revolt active. Alright, our opponent drew at least a mountain, so that's good that it wasn't 3 spells. Alright, Bushwhacker's coming down. That's fine. Swinging in. And yeah, I'm just going to push it. Okay. Okay, another temple. Well, we need some action here. We're a little flooded on lands now. Okay, so he gets the 3rd ability, which is going to make his creatures and bolts, yeah, much more powerful. So unfortunately, we're taking 5 for each bolt here. Okay, if he only has, you know, the 1 red card, I feel pretty good about that. Jeez, okay. Probably won't be cracking that. Mog Fanatic. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's definitely going to get in for 1 damage here. Oh, this is perfect. I can counter a sorcery spell, so I can deal with both the grenade and the fanatic this way. So that's really good for me. Oh god, alright. Yeah, like I don't want to play Delta. Like I don't want to crack Delta because going to 5 life means I'm dead to another Goblin Grenade. Although I have seen 2, it's just I don't feel like... I did put a Thought-Knot Seer on my bottom of my library, so maybe it is worth it to help shuffle that in. All right, I guess I'll crack this. He needs a Goblin and a Goblin Grenade to kill me from 5, so I think I'm fine doing this. Okay, Thought-Knot Seer is a card that helps increase my clock, so that's good. It doesn't do anything, though, because he has no cards in hand. But now cards like Bushwhacker, if he draws, although I think he's... No, he still has 1 more Bushwhacker left. But the haste... Okay, so he concedes there. He must have drawn just like a land. Okay, yeah, like the haste guys weren't getting through this, so the Thought-Knot Seer was a pretty good wall. In sideboarding, yeah, all of these 5 cards here seem really good. Ashiok feels too slow. Not a big fan of delay. Like, I just don't want to be spending 2 mana on a counterspell when my opponent probably only spent 1 mana to cast that spell. Now, I am getting rid of 3 of my exiling effects, which does make my processors a little worse, but like you can't cut too many of them. Like, Relic's also not good in this matchup, but you kind of have to leave it in just because it always cycles for a card, and you need it to help make the Blight Herders, Stranglers, and Nullifiers actually do something. So, is there another card we could bring in? I guess Ratchet Bomb. Yeah, let's try doing this and seeing if that's any better. Okay, this hand is not great, but it's serviceable. I've got, you know, interaction. I've got lands. So yeah, I will keep this. Bomat Courier. Okay, all right. So that card at some point I will need to kill. I was really hoping for lands. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave up push here instead of playing Relic. Okay, that's nice. Hopefully this will flip a land. Legion Loyalist. Dimensional Infiltrator. Not a good card right now. Well, I really need land, so I think that I just go ahead and kill the Bomat Courier. And next turn, Ratchet Bomb, ticking up to 1. Yeah, I just need my opponent to swing in with his Goblin Guide, because if I'm not drawing lands, then I can't win, I don't think. And so it's worth taking the extra, I guess, 2 points of damage. That's what I'm letting happen. Liliana, also not what I want to see. Goblin Grenade. That's rough. Burning Tree Emissary. Into Flame of Keld as their last card. Oh my gosh. So that's really good for my opponent. Well, then what has to happen is I have to flash in the Infiltrator to block and kill the Emissary. And then crack the Ratchet Bomb to kill off the Goblin Guide. But good start out of my opponent, and just kind of didn't get the draws I needed. So this is going to be tough to come back from. The Bomat Courier, I didn't even realize, kind of powers up these processors because it exiles cards, and I'm guessing I should be able to target those. I mean, I could probably target those while they're still under the Bomat Courier, so that's good. It's a good interaction to be aware of. Firebrand. Not sure if I would have done that, considering Flame of Keld lets this shock, like, basically act as Lightning Strike next turn. Oh, okay, I see. He's just getting his points in now. I'm gonna have to take 1 to play this Infiltrator. Going down to 1. Well, there's an Eldrazi Temple, which is a card I need. But unfortunately, I don't see myself winning this. He just has so many cards that are going to be able to kill me here. Damnation looks a little foolish. Yeah, I can't play Liliana and I can't play Nullifier. These Underground Rivers don't really do anything, so I'll just play the Relic and hope to cycle with it. That's good. So that's not gonna trigger. Oh, we know it always has haste. Never mind. Okay, so I guess I'm dead there. That is frustrating. Not sure what I can do differently. I think that my board layout's fine. It's unfortunate just to miss lands there. I wonder if I want some number of Spell Pierces in, just as a way to stop Flame of Keld, stop Goblin Grenade. I'm going to try those. The Dimensional Infiltrators don't seem great in this matchup, so let's try doing that. We'll be on the play, which is good. And this hand is a little awkward. Again, we have some painful colored sources, but we have lands and we have interaction. I don't think we can mulligan this, so I will keep. All right, River and Pass. Yeah, especially when you have Eldrazi Temple, which is really what gets you those degenerate draws. All right, Firebrand. Yeah, I'm just going to push it. Relic. Okay. So I'll play the Eldrazi Temple, play the Relic, and just hold up Fatal Push. Don't think I need to hold up Warping Whale. Smash to Smithereens doesn't seem very good when I can just crack this in response. That fizzles the smash. Yeah, that doesn't feel like a good play on my opponent's part. Like, it's not the worst card against me because he can, you know, if I'm tapped out, he can use it to get rid of the Relic and deal me 3, but he really should have just not cast it there. It's an instant. Yeah, very strange. Well, I like seeing Bomat Courier help power up my Blight Herder here. Plus Fanatical Firebrand. Okay. Alright, I'm going to push the Firebrand. And I'm gonna check right now. This is gonna be fun. I'll see if Blight Herder interacts with the Bomat Courier cards the way I think it does. Okay. Yeah, I might as well just play this. Yep. So I can just grab that card and that card. It was a Legion Loyalist. Yeah, so that's a fun interaction for me, and I technically have Warping Whale up. That's one of the fun things with these Scions, is your opponent might think that you're tapped out or that you can't interact, and you've got this card kind of waiting in the wings here. Alright, Bushwhacker, not kicked, not an issue. These Scions are really gonna, you know, gum up the board here. Yeah, see, so I can sacrifice this creature and counter target sorcery spell. Now, he was trying to kill off the Blight Herder, which makes sense. But, yeah, I needed that around, so definitely was going to counter that. Strangler seems good, but my opponent doesn't have a card in exile. Let's name Eldrazi here. And I'll swing in for 6. If my opponent, you know, kills off my last Scion and swings in with the Courier, then he's using a card to kill the Scion, and he's putting a card in exile for the Strangler. So I don't mind that. Yeah, Goblin Guide. Legion Loyalist. Okay, that is an issue. It's giving them all first strike and trample, so I can't jump with the Scion. Or I can jump, but it's not gonna. I think I'm at a high enough life total. I can just take 4 here. Ooh, that's a very good draw. I will have to take a point of damage to play it, but here, let me just undo that a bit. Let's play the wastes first. Here we go. And let's kill off this. Yeah, let's get rid of the Bomat Courier. And let's kill off the Goblin Guide. Yep. Smash to Smithereens. So he brought in multiples of that card. I think that's just crazy. Yeah, let's serve with all. If he has a Bushwhacker, that's going to be good. But he would only be able to hit for 4. I think my opponent's been pretty lucky to not draw lands. I think just 2 lands and a bunch of spells is probably exactly what his deck wants to do. Bolt. Yeah, that's fine. Fine with him bolting my creatures. Goblin Grenading the Blight Herder, not bothering to attack in with the Loyalist first. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I think I just tick down the Liliana and get my Blight Herder back. I can't. Yes, I'll return this. It doesn't let me. I can do everything in the process. He's got nothing in exile, but that's fine. I think it's more just about getting this creature in play. Yeah, my opponent has one card in hand. Not sure what he could have that can deal with the board I've got. I am going to be one short of lethal, unfortunately, though. Yeah, Flame of Kel is fine. Yeah, that's the one nice thing, is it doesn't impact the board the turn it comes down. So, all right, so we took the first game against Bomat Red Goblins with Flame of Kel, and that's a really interesting deck. I'm sure that it's low to the ground enough that it can really punish decks like Tron, or a slow hand out of blue-white control. Yeah, because that just seems really fast. It also seems like it's probably pretty cheap to build. So, interesting deck. But we will just go on to our next round.